Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network in our BSN Best Private Investigations Soccer Match of the Week between the undefeated Viera Hawks and the 7-3 Holy Trinity Tigers. Caleb Brown with, of course, sorry, I had a little squirrel disease for a second. And, of course, joined by my awesome broadcast partner, someone I've come to just truly enjoy broadcasting soccer with, Matt Shelton. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to a great game here tonight. Got two great teams, two good records. I show 7-1 though. 7 Holy Trinity.
You see,
I think the only loss they have, the only one I see, is to West Shore. The 2-1 loss to West Shore. Only 4 goals scored against this team all year. For Holy Trinity.
Look, and say what you. West Shore is a good scrappy team. Look, that's not a, it's a slight hiccup, but look. Well, West Shore can play.
Yeah, they can, and they're a solid defensive unit. These guys play together all year round. Adrian does a great job keeping these guys all working as a unit. I mean, you watch them play. They don't care if you have the ball because you're not going to get through them.
No.
So they'll let you have the ball and let you come to them. And like I said, they're just very organized in the back. And then when they do get the ball, they're going straight forward, and they're looking to chip that goal in. Viera's a little different. Viera wants the ball. Viera's going to be trying to play possession. And if they get caught playing that long ball game against Holy Trinity, playing their game, that's when they're going to have trouble. They did that for the first half last year, and that game wound up winning. Viera wound up winning 1-0. So very tight the entire game. And Max May heads the ball in, but into no one, and Holy Trinity takes over in their back. And there's a headed in ball. Jake Brown is knocking it out of bounds. So first attacking opportunity here goes to Holy Trinity. And again, that Route 1 style, that long ball in, even though really they didn't have a Holy Trinity player on the ball, forcing Viera to kick the ball out of bounds. Now you get the long throw in and a scoring opportunity here for Holy Trinity early on in the game. Into the box it goes. And gathered in by Caden Sickler.
Legala on the throw. Only as far as Sickler with the save.
BSN will update time and score as necessary. And look,
ball coming down the right side here. Aiden Pavelski does a good job defending there.
Viera plays a long ball down the channel.
And the arm up in Aiden's face causes a foul against Viera, and Aiden will take the free kick here for Holy Trinity.
Points are going to come at a premium here. I anticipate, kind of like last year, it wouldn't shock me to see a 1-0 victory either way.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Viera, I want to be a little patient, and control that ball and look for those opportunities to get in. And Mikkel Jensen getting a run down the left side. Now a good tackle following up, and it looks like we'll have a Holy Trinity throw.
Just a reminder for everyone in the audience, no noisemakers, please.
Throw down the right-hand side.
And Kramer on the throw-in.
Keegan Harrison heads it out of bounds.
Off the head of the Tigers, throwing for the Hawks.
We'll have a Hawks throw here, deep in their own territory. Yeah, so possession's been even here in the beginning of the game so far. We'll see what changes happen. That was close to a foul throw there.
You're looking to play
long ball in to Max May. He heads it on, but no one there to receive, and Aiden Pavelski clears.
Nope. Score is 0-0. Just got this one underway. Viera and Holy Trinity.
Walker dribbling up the middle, almost losing it, and plays back to Jake Brown. And you see the Holy Trinity Tigers just using that low line of confrontation. They're not even bothering with pressing the ball until it gets to that 30-yard line. Letting Viera have that back, not a threat. Just got to keep that movement in the midfield, look for those passes from the back. And then again, Holy Trinity content to let Viera just hold the ball deep in their own territory.
For the Hawks, looking for options.
And Jake Brown sends one long to Max May.
Forward, flicked on.
Mikkel Jensen with the ball here off his head. Now controlling here on the left side.
Controlled by Jensen.
Max Walker now driving up the middle. Ball on the outside now.
Max May plays it out wide.
Cross coming in. It's off the Holy Trinity player and out of bounds for a Viera Hawks corner.
Viera earns a corner.
I'm trying to identify the player on the far side. I think it's Alex Canlis, but these gold numbers on the white shirts, it's almost impossible to see. Yep, 21. That would be Alex Canlis. Ball coming in again off the Holy Trinity player and taken in by the goalkeeper. Playing out the back here on the right-hand side. Max May giving chase, and there's the difference in those two teams. Viera wants to, and King Sickler having to deal with that one with his feet. Good defensive play there by Mikkel Jensen. Jake Wells in the corner here. Back out to Legala. Good defensive play by Gio. It'll be a throw-in for Holy Trinity. Expect this long throw to come in here. Can't even see the player. Tucked away there along the fence on the outside of the track. Make that long run in. Long throw in. Headed into a danger zone there. Still in the danger zone. Caden Sickler rises up and grabs it.
Sickler comes up with it.
So 3 opportunities there with the ball sitting just about 4 yards outside of the goal face, right in the middle. I mean, just an errant touch can throw it right into the goal. And now we have the low pressure here from Holy Trinity. Long ball coming in now. Alex Canlis on the right side. Doing battle there with Andrew Turner. Max Walker now with the ball. Keegan Harrison, shoulder to shoulder there from Max Walker, knocking Harrison off the ball, but able to retrieve it. Playing back to his defensive line. Mikkel Jensen again with a good little defensive interception, but unable to control it and keep it. And the ball comes long, only to Max Walker. Alex Bennett trying to retrieve it. Max Walker with a strong tackle. And the ball comes forward and out of bounds. And that will be a Holy Trinity throw. A lot of player disagreement on the field of whose ball that was, but it's the referees who count, and Holy Trinity's got the throw.
Flicked on by Legala.
Jake Brown does a good job, but Jake Wells coming down the right side and out, and Xavier able to stop him. No, Xavier on Jake Wells' back, foul called. It'll be a free kick here in a good position here for Holy Trinity. It's a little far for the direct, but certainly a great opportunity for the indirect kick, and Keegan Harrison stands over the ball.
Harrison on the ball for the Tigers.
Yes, the Melbourne basketball game will be shown live as soon as varsity tips off. As soon as it tips off, Alan Slaughter-Zinski will have the call for you. And if I'm not mistaken, he will have our good buddy Mark Moses.
Ooh. Caden Sickler having to punch the ball as Keegan goes direct to goal. I think it was probably based on the pace of that ball across to the far post. It just went a little short. But regardless, Caden Sickler having to deal with it and just gives a punch and having to make a second save. Now the ball coming into the middle here. Jake Wells misses on the left foot. Keegan Harrison with a great shot, but right at Caden Sickler. So, so far all the attack has been on the Holy Trinity side. Definitely pushing here to try and get an early goal.
I like that strategy by Holy Trinity. Try to get one on early. Look,
yeah, I mean their whole game is take the opportunities that are given. So they're pushing that ball forward to ensure that there's opportunities, and then you take advantage of those opportunities when they come. So they're doing a good job of once that ball gets into the attacking third, keeping control and turning it into a scoring opportunity, not wasting them.
Valdivia plays it back to Bovolsky.
Bovelski. Long ball coming in now. Jake Wells over him. Jake Medina. And then knocked out of bounds by Andrew Turner.
So you better watch out. His dad Kyle will get you.
I coached lacrosse with Kyle. Andrew was one of our players years ago. That was a long time ago.
Bennett charging.
Alex driving here on the left side. Good job by Andrew Turner to rein him in. Now Keegan Harris, excuse me, that's
Bennett plays it back to Walker.
Nathan, is it Conti? I need my glasses to see their roster. Gio does a good job turning on Aiden Bovelski. Ball coming in. Max May just can't quite get a foot to it.
Werder's got it.
And into the hands of the goalkeeper. That's Finn Werder. Finn looking to kick the ball along. A little miss hit. Mikkel Jensen can't control it. Max Walker now with the ball out to Xavier Jackson. Back to Jake Medina. Again, not a lot of pressure up top, so those center backs able to basically get their head up and try and find a pass. And now you see some white shirts running around the field, interchanging, and that's what they're going to have to do is keep rotating and trying to find open space for each other. Great turn there from Max May. He's driving through the middle now. 3v3 in the back here. Good defensive stop there from 23. That would be Giancarlo Valdivia.
Throwing it for the Hawks.
Hawks throw back to the uncontested back line. Jake Brown over to Jake Medina. And Xavier Jackson decides not to turn. Had the opportunity. Long ball in now. Jake Brown. Giancarlo Valdivia out of bounds with the head. And back we go to the center backs. And like I said, the Holy Trinity is going to give them that ball, and they're going to defend, these forward players. Now with the driving, long ball in to Mikkel. Mikkel Jensen with the ball now on the near side. Back to Xavier Jackson. They've broken the line. Now they unbroke it, and back to the center backs we go. Good ball in there. Holy Trinity really not now advancing that line of confrontation once they've come forward. Everybody behind midfield. Good drive here on the right-hand side from Ben Riggenbach. Max May on the right side driving now on the byline. Cut back cross right in front of the goal face, but Mikkel Jensen couldn't get a foot to it. Great opportunity there. Just no Hawks there. Jensen couldn't get a foot to it. Good job from Jake Medina. Ball coming in, long ball into Keegan Harrison. Just can't control it.
Sickler clears it for the Hawks.
Caden Sickler clears out to the near side here. It'll be a Holy Trinity throw. Jake Wells with the ball in his hand. Now
Lagala on the throw.
hands off to Reef Lagala. Long throw coming in here. Try and get it into more of an attacking zone with this long throw. Gets it all the way into the box, but right in the hands of Caden Sickler.
Throwing goes all the way back to Sickler.
And as the Tigers retreat, this is a nice easy rollout to Vin Riggenbach. I think the two Jakes are going to have about 500 passes to each other tonight.
Hey. If it turns into a W, take it all day.
It ain't a W until you score a goal, so they're going to have to keep pushing forward. And
May on the ball for the
Max May now driving here through the middle of the field. Jake Brown is finding space here on the right side. Over to Alex Canless. Back to Jake Brown. Gio now turning on Keegan Harrison. Driving now the ball into Alex, but controlled now by Aiden Pavelski. Great job. Now Gio coming in, picking up the ball after being picked away there. Foul called on Gio, and it'll be a Holy Trinity ball.
foul given. Free kick.
I'd like to give a big shout out to tonight's game sponsor, Best Private Investigations.
Foul call there against Holy Trinity. It was Mikkel Jensen wanted a little more, I think, but it was hard foul, but first foul. Not going to get more than just a foul out of it, I would say. And we have Dylan Gibson, Cooper Estero, and Grant Schultz coming in here for Holy Trinity.
Hawks. Plays it back to Medina.
Will happen at the next stoppage. Jake Brown finding Max Walker in the middle now. Gio Canero. Back out to Vin Riggenbach. Good job to beat the first defender. Back to Alex Canless, and then Jake Brown over to Jake Wells again. Now trying to find space here on the near side. Jake's now driving down the field. Mikkel Jensen with the ball now. Holy Trinity doing a good job of cutting off the passing lanes, including the one back to Jake Brown. Now Jake Brown finally with the ball. Back to Vin Riggenbach. And this is where I was talking about, Viera having to be patient. If they keep just chucking the ball from the center backs forward, you're playing right into their hands. Max May is up top, but there's 4 blue shirts there in line with him. So, that's what Holy Trinity wants you to do, is they want to plug up those passing lanes through the midfield and force you to throw it long. But if you're patient and you keep moving, you'll eventually find those passing lanes open up, and you can find your way through. But it takes movement and good quality passing, and they have to have some pace on them. Otherwise, you're never going to get through the line. Good job from Giancarlo Valdavia, heading it, keeping it inbounds, and now driving down the left-hand side is Keegan Harrison, but out of bounds it goes. And we'll have a Holy Trinity throw.
Throwing up for the Tigers.
And again, players in the field disagreeing, and now we have Holy Trinity players entering the pitch. Reef Lagala coming off the pitch, along with Andrew Turner. And Vikram also coming off the pitch. Flick on head. Then Riggenbach gets it clear, but only out to Keegan Harrison at the top of the box. Jake Wells clears.
McKenzie sees it out.
And out of bounds. Thrown for Holy Trinity. Hayden Van Kramer with the throw. Long throw in. Jake Brown finds his head.
Sends it in. Finds Harrison.
Keegan Harrison having to retreat with the ball, and Mikkel Jensen able to pick it up. This is the place they have to drive, and they drive Max May down the left-hand side. Beats Hayden on the left-hand side. Foul just outside the box.
A foul given.
And it'll be a free kick and a great opportunity here for
the Hawks.
Viera Hawks just outside the box. And I think that's the right call. I mean, it looked like Max tripped over the line as he was going in, but definitely contact from behind by Hayden. And Max May will stand over this one. Three-man wall for Holy Trinity. 6 Hawks in the box, and Mikkel Jensen standing high for that pop out.
All right, the shoe is tied. We're ready to play.
Goes far post and over the bar.
Over the crossbar.
And we'll have a Holy Trinity goal kick. So first shot opportunity there for the Hawks. It was a good one.
Just
can't convert.
Just between the uprights.
And Pavelski will take the goal kick here for Holy Trinity. Now that is a smart play. You never see it, but I've always said that is exactly what you should do. Go ahead and take the 20 yards and take some pressure and then kick it if you're going to go long. Max Walker back to Caden Sickler. Over to Jake Brown. Long ball in. Giancarlo is going to have a headache at the end of the night tonight. He's got a lot of long balls coming into his head tonight. Great tackle there on the far side.
Listen, I know coaches preach get your head in the game, but you know at some point you gotta.
Viera driving now. Just can't find Max May through the middle.
Hit away by Valdivia. Throwing for the Hawks.
We'll have a Hawks throw.
Our first water break.
And that'll be after our first water break.
All right, we're coming up on first water break with 19:37 left to go here in the first half. Your score 0-0. We'll be back. All right, we are back, folks. Back from the water break. I enjoyed that water break. Always, getting a good drink. And so far, first half of the first half assessment.
Yeah, I mean, it's tactically, what I kind of expected. Holy Trinity is not gonna push forward and not gonna press high up the pitch, and Viera's gonna try to possess the ball a little bit. Although Holy Trinity's doing a really good job plugging up the midfield and kind of forcing them, or at least making the center backs feel like they have to go long with the ball, which, as I said, plays right into Holy Trinity. And as a result, Holy Trinity's had some great opportunities there in the first half. I think Viera had a couple opportunities and couldn't convert. Holy Trinity had a couple opportunities, probably more opportunities, and couldn't convert. Now it's just a matter of who's got the quality and that final touch to put the ball in the net.
Throw in for the Hawks.
So far, the best scoring opportunity for Viera was the free kick just outside the box.
Well, and that cutback cross from Max May, Mikkel Jensen just couldn't quite get the foot to it. That was a really good opportunity. Didn't turn into a shot, but it was certainly a great opportunity.
The best one for Holy Trinity so far was right in front of that, right off the throw-in.
Yeah, the three-headed balls right in front of the goal face was certainly an opportunity lost.
Sickler stepped up big in that moment.
Now Viera controlling the middle. Ref says no foul. Alex Bennett now with the ball. Keegan Harrison giving some fits. Back to Max Walker. See, now Viera's building through the midfield. This is where Viera is going to be very dangerous. Max Walker driving out to Alex Bennett. Alex Bennett with a good cross. Mikkel Jensen again just can't quite get his head on it and put it into the goal. Again, there's those opportunities. You've got great opportunities. It just doesn't amount to a shot. Again, Mikkel Jensen, the one on the receiving end, just couldn't quite get to the finish. And Mikkel's playing a great game. He's the two best opportunities have been at him, playing well defensively. Impressed with him here on this near side. Aiden Pavelski with a long kick. Max Walker winning over Keegan Harrison. I think Keegan wanted the foul as Max's hands were on his shoulders.
Listen, just a friendly massage is all that was. Hey, don't mess us up. Don't mess us up.
Dan Kramer on the throw.
Long throw here from Hayden. Jake Wells tackling on the near side.
Cleared away by the Hawks.
Jake Wells.
Hey, look, we got a good officiating crew tonight.
We do.
This is one I always love when I see him at a soccer game, because I know they'll let them play to an extent. They'll let the boys determine the game.
Free ball there in the box, cleared by Jake Wells. Max May heads it in, but Aiden Pavelski, club teammate, understands what he's trying to do, but almost gives it up to Max May on the back pass to the keeper. Just not enough mustard on it. Now, Gio going forward, errant touch there. Losing out, and now a foul on Cooper Endres, and he'll get a card, and off the field Gio will go.
Yellow card to Carniero. Free kick for the Tigers.
So we'll have Gio coming onto the pitch for the Hawk. Will be I don't have a number for
the Tigers.
No number 14.
No, I can't quite tell who that is.
And for the Hawks, number 24, Ben Elwell.
And Stadium Announcer says 24. It's actually 14. Shot there from number 2. That's Dylan Gibson.
Be a corner for the Tigers.
I'll tell you what, if he had a lacrosse stick in his hand, that'd have been right in the corner. He's one heck of a lacrosse player.
Oh, he is such a fun player to watch.
But back to goal, swing of the foot, not quite as accurate.
Yeah.
So corner opportunity here for Holy Trinity. Everybody within the 6-yard box here on both teams. It's a rugby scrum here in the 6.
So who's gonna pick who up by the waist?
Ball coming in. Opportunity, but out it goes. Referees in position. Honestly, I don't know if they could see the ball cross the line with all the bodies that were in front of it. But referees say no goal. Holy Trinity really wanted that to be a goal. From here, definitely hard to say. But the assistant referee was on the byline. Should have had a good opportunity to look at it and says no goal. Jake Wells with the head in. Keegan Harrison now back to Jake Wells. Max May over to Alex Bennett, trying to get it back to Max May, but only finding Hayden, who hits long and indicating Sickler's hands. Quickly back out to Xavier Jackson. And those are those opportunities if you've got a couple of Holy Trinity players forward to try and get forward quickly.
McKenzie heads it. Uzier plays it up to Gibson.
Xavier Jackson going long into nobody.
Jackson looking for somebody on the break. No one's there.
Let's give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Paris Reagan, former Rockledge Raider, soccer star.
Little miss hit there from the keeper. Mikkel Jensen over to Maxway. Max Walker through the middle now back to Alex Bennett. Got Vin Riggenbach on the right-hand side.
Foul given.
Foul, and Alex Bennett plays quickly.
By the Hawks.
Over to Max May. Max Walker driving through the middle now. Over to Max May. Takes the shot.
Blocked by Combs.
It was
Gibson finds Combs.
Nathan Combs
Looking to play
on the
Wells.
block. Jake Wells trying to get around Jake Medina. Caden Sickler able to pick it up. Out to Jake Brown. A lot of Jakes in this game. All in the same spot, too.
Combs, Gibson, like you mentioned, two great lacrosse players. If you can ever make it out to a Holy Trinity lacrosse game, I would definitely recommend it.
Ben Riggenbach now over to Alex Canlis and then back to Alex Bennett. Over to Xavier Jackson.
Bennett plays it back to Jackson.
Jackson turns.
Finds Jensen.
Mikkel Jensen's got some space here to drive. Takes the shot.
Goes wide.
Out of bounds it goes for a goal kick.
Good goal kick for the Tigers. Back in for the
Shot
Tigers
wide,
for
but
11.
good to see Mikkel Jensen finally getting a touch on the ball and getting that shot going.
Yep. And Gio coming back on the pitch for the Hawks, as is Solomon Fife. And Mikkel's going to come off and have a break. He's been working hard. Also off the pitch. I can't see who the other player is. Looks like Alex Canlis coming off the pitch for the Hawks. And Pavelski with the kick. Alex Bennett first to it. Combs wins the second ball.
Sabapathy tracking it down.
Ben Riggenbach trying to shield the player on the far side. Out of bounds it goes. Not sure if he got a touch on that. Referee here on the near side says Viera throw. Holy Trinity winning the ball in the midfield. Good defense there from the Hawks, but
Foul given. Free kick
referee
for the
says
Tigers.
foul as Alex Bennett puts his arm up into the chest of Nathan Combs. So free kick. It'll be a long free kick here for Holy Trinity. Expect this one to get launched in the box from Keegan Harrison. We don't have a scrum here in the 6 at this point because the Hawks are holding the line at the 18. So holding the line at the 18 means, all those defenders are standing there so that anybody standing behind the 18. Wow, Caden Sickler gets a fist to it twice.
That's a goal.
The referee's saying corner kick. I guess it went off the post from the football goal, and that's why it bounced back into play.
Okay.
Good eyes from the referee to see that because he put it off. I thought it went off the crossbar of the goal.
Yeah.
But it might have gone off the top of the goal and then into the football goal post, kicking it back into play. But, wow, what a great save from Caden Sickler. And now we have the scrum back in the 6-yard box. Left foot coming in. First to it on the near post is Jake Brown. Aiden Pavelski tries to put it back in. Vin Riggenbach with the first head to it. Max May finding Vin Riggenbach again. Now driving through the middle of the field. Ball coming in. He's onside. Vin Riggenbach on the left side. Unfamiliar territory to him as a right back. Little pull from the shirt, but no foul. And Giancarlo gets it out, but only to Max Walker, puts it back in. Little shove in the back, little ticky-tack, but turns into a free kick for the Hawks here about 35 yards out. And again, an indirect opportunity. And as I was saying, the defenders hold the line at the 18 so that any player who's in behind them, closer to goal, is in an offside position. Once the ball's kicked, everybody can start running in. And then if a defender's not holding their line and drops in, they can actually hold players onside and allow them to get in behind in the adjacent areas. So it's like Max May and Sully Fife over the ball. Sully's going to give it over to Max May. Driving down the right-hand side, gets by Andrew Turner, and out of bounds it goes for a Hawks throw. I'm surprised we don't see Jake Brown running over to take that throw. And now I guess he's changing his mind. Yeah, Jake Brown's going to be taking this throw. So long throw coming in. 3 in the box, and Max Walker entering the box now as well. Alex Bennett on the far post. Look for that flick onto the far post. Back to Jake Brown. Can he get the cross in? Out of bounds it goes for a Hawks throw. Expect the same here.
Played out by the Tigers, throw in for the Hawks.
Long throw here coming from Jake Brown. A couple more entering the box now. Gio standing up above the 18, waiting for the pop out. Foul throw.
Illegal throw.
So on the foul throw, does that mean he possibly stepped over the line? Or
Yeah, I wasn't watching him on the throw. He could have stepped on line. And when you do the long throws, usually it's the back foot coming up.
Okay.
As you have that momentum, it's tough to keep that back foot down. But yeah, so most likely is the back foot coming up, but it could have been him stepping onto the field of play as well.
Kolarski on the throw.
Sully Fife taking a ride on that one.
Foul given.
Up on the shoulders there of the Holy Trinity player. Aiden Pavelski to take the kick here.
Pavelski.
On ball end to Keegan Harrison. Everybody from the Hawks now getting forward. Ball coming in now, and Caden Sickler will let it come into his box.
Sickler there for the right.
Dylan Gibson running on hard.
Plays it out to Jackson.
Caden just calmly picks it up. And the Jakes will have a little pass play here. And it seems like the instructions from Coach Adrian Moreno is the 30 will be no limit for the center backs.
Throw in for the Tigers.
5.5 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Holy Trinity with the throw on the far side.
Pavelski on the throw. Flicked on by Harrison.
Keegan Harrison with the flick on header. Max Walker back to Jake Medina.
Medina looking for option. Plays it
Goes back to
Sickler.
Caden Sickler. No need to rush back there. Jake Medina back to Jake Brown. Keegan Harrison giving some pressure. Then Ringelbach losing out. Keegan Harrison able to pick it up. Holy Trinity controlling in the midfield. Keegan Harrison driving through the middle here.
McKenzie.
Keegan Harrison back out wide now again. Little footwork on Gio there.
Harrison looking for help.
Nathan Combs losing out on the right side. But Holy Trinity able to regain it on the far left side. Sully Fife defending. Forcing Holy Trinity back. Aiden Pavelski on the far side. Losing out.
Taken away by the Hawks.
Max May now driving on the far side. Great tackle there.
Tackle by Van Kramer. Clears it. Throw in for the Hawks.
Hayden Kramer wanted that ball, but you can't win the tackle and win the ball usually. Usually if it goes the other way on a tackle like that, it's a foul. And then Hayden just clearing it out here to the near side, given chase by Alex Bennett. Xavier Jackson will have a throw here on the near side.
Jackson on the throw for the Hawks.
3.5 minutes to play. Good hold-up play there, out of bounds. Good call there from the referee. It was off Gio's foot. Out of bounds for a Holy Trinity throw.
Van Kramer on the throw. Flicked on by Lagala.
Good header into Keegan Harrison. Jake Brown does a good job to intercept the first touch off Keegan.
Pavelski on the steal.
Jake Brown getting high up the pitch, applying pressure, and then Sully Fife. Pressure on Giancarlo. Out of bounds it goes, and we'll have another Holy Trinity throw. Not sure what the foul call was on that one, but
kick for the Tigers.
Be a free kick on the far side.
Van Kramer plays it out to McKenzie.
Quickly taken. Now here on the near side. I don't think Viera's aware that it's in play.
Plays it in. Flicked on.
Flicked on header. Caden Sickler is able to run that one down. Long ball in here. 1v1 opportunity.
Van Kramer.
But Hayden able to knock it off the Hawk and out of bounds for a Holy Trinity throw. Just under 2 minutes left to play here in the first half. Still 0-0. Long throw. Jake Brown wraps his foot around.
Turns, finds Lagala.
Flagala with the ball now out of bounds. They're going to call the foul, I believe. Free kick here on the near side.
just over a minute left in the half.
Still a minute left. Keegan Harrison going to retrieve the ball. Expect him to launch one in here.
Referee stops the clock.
Looks like Max May giving a yellow card for dissent.
Apparent yellow card given to number 8.
I didn't see the card come out, but he's sending him off the pitch, so I'm assuming that's what happened.
So what's dissent?
Arguing with the referee.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm assuming that's what happened. I didn't see, but you should, the body language from
Yeah.
both referee and player said to me that that's what happened.
Harrison on the ball for the Tigers.
Makes it sound so elegant. It was the simple dissent on the field.
Plays it into the box.
Good head from Alex Bennett for the first ball.
Away by the Hawks.
And foul called on Holy Trinity.
Hawks looking to play it quick.
And with a minute left, the Hawks want to get one more attack in here. Get one through Sully Fife if he can get to this ball. Shielded.
Tigers.
And job from Vikram to just shield that away and not allow Sully to get onto the ball. Likely to run this timeout before we have any other opportunities on either end. It's going to have to be quick. 20 seconds left. Opportunity here, but not much time. Ooh. Keegan Harrison able to, Aiden Pavelski able to get that out.
Final time will be kept on the field by the referee. Bennett charging down the sideline for the
Alex
Hawks.
Bennett on the far side, trying to get it through 3 Holy Trinity players, and whistle sounds. That's halftime, folks. 0-0 here in the first half. Great game here between Holy Trinity and Viera. Just what we expected.
Exactly what we expected. Look, both sides having great chances, and both goalies coming up clutch.
Yep. So we'll have a good second half here and see who can put one in the net here to win this game.
Folks, we'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Hey everybody, welcome back. Second half here between Holy Trinity and Viera. Caleb Brown and Matt Shelton to bring you all the action.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far. Good first half, 0-0. Kind of as expected, this was going to be a low-scoring game. As I said last year, 1-0. Viera was able to put one in the net. I believe it was in the second half. So we'll see what happens here. Holy Trinity certainly had their opportunities. I think if I'm Adrian Moreno, Holy Trinity coach at halftime, I'll probably be telling them pretty much to do what you've been doing. They've done a really good job, and again, winning in the midfield there, and now controlling in the back. For Viera, I think it's going to be about patience when you do have the ball and just wait for something to open up. Mikkel Jensen doing another good job of defense on that far side. Out of bounds it goes for a Viera throw.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Best Private Investigation, for we hope you don't need a private investigator, but if you do, go give Best Private Investigations a call or find them online at bestprivateinvestigations.com.
Off the Hawks, throw in for the Tigers.
Off Max May, out of bounds. It'll be a Holy Trinity throw on the far side. Long throw in.
Throw by the Tigers, flicked on by Sabapathy.
Jake Brown in a rush there to push the ball out to Vin Riggenbach. No pressure here.
Riggenbach for the Hawks, looking for option, plays it back.
Back to Jake Brown. Back to Caden Sickler.
Back to Sickler.
I mean, if they're going to give you the 30, go to at least to the 20 and then get your options.
Ooh, 29-26, Melbourne and Viera boys basketball.
Tight one.
Alan said that one was going to be a war. Look, the last time Melbourne was at Viera, they took the district title. So,
a little shove there from Aiden Bavelski, but no foul called. And good job to keep everything in. Andrew Turner keeping the ball alive to Keegan Harrison, but losing out to Max Walker. Calls for foul on Keegan Harrison. Keegan getting up a little gingerly on the left foot there. Giancarlo Valdivia on the left side now overlapping, but losing the ball out. Now Vin Riggenbach with the ball at his feet. Plays back to Jake Brown. Over to Jake Medina. Mikkel Jensen now with some space on the far side driving. A little heavy touch, but able to get by. Max May can't control it.
Turner finds Wells.
Good job from Jake Medina grabbing the ball on the far side here. Playing the ball in. Foul called. Would be a free kick here for Viera and a decent opportunity.
Free kick for the Hawks.
So standing about 30 yards out. Looks like Max Walker and Max May. Looks like Max May will be over the ball. A little far for direct, but I've seen him try from further. So expect this to head to the far post. 4 Hawks running in on the far post. Right into the wall. Joe Canaro picking it up there on the far side and losing out in the midfield. Now Keegan Harrison.
Wells to Holmes.
Nathan Combs out of bounds, and it'll be a Hawks throw.
Ball goes out to be a throw-in for the Hawks. Jackson on the throw.
Xavier Jackson to take the throw here for the Hawks.
Headed away by McKenzie.
Headed out of bounds. Quick throw in. Alex Bennett
Viera
attacking. Good job to clear the ball out of bounds again. Hawks throw again, just matriculating the ball up that far side. Here comes the long throw from Jake Brown. 4 Hawks in the box. Gio taking up the space outside for the pop out. Headed out of bounds for a corner kick.
Corner for the Hawks.
So another opportunity here for the Hawks. Looking at the short corner here.
Bennett on the ball for the Hawks.
5 in the box for the Hawks. Goes a little far.
Magala heads it away, finds Sabapathy. Stolen by the Hawks.
Hard hit there on the far side. It was shoulder to shoulder, and we have a goal kick. I think it's a great call from the referees. It was a really hard hit, but when it's shoulder to shoulder, it is not a foul.
I believe a foul was given.
But maybe they did call the
Free
foul.
kick for the Hawks.
Initially, he pointed it was a goal kick. I guess the center referee changed the call. I mean, usually if you do hit someone that hard, you're going to get the call. But, you know, it's a physical sport. That was shoulder to shoulder, but I've seen even light shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Hits to be called foul. And ball coming in here. Great ball to the outside on the far post. I think that was Jake Brown rushing in, and now like a fish caught in the net. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get out of there too quickly. He went into that net hard.
We have a goal kick for the Tigers. Referee stopped the clock. Injured player.
Brevard Sports Network policy, we do not show injuries. I'm not a doctor, and I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express, so trust me when I tell you, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, I think that was Jake Brown.
Still just caught in the net.
Yeah, like I said, he was running hard into the net. Hopefully Jake's okay. Marino taking the opportunity to have a few words with Reef Nogala.
The medical trainer helping Jake up off the ground.
Up and walking on his own. That's a good sign
Yes,
always.
Absolutely. Look,
He's walking a little gingerly.
Look, especially after this past Monday night, anytime you see an athlete laying on the ground, it's it's that moment of hesitation. Like,
yeah, no one's invincible. That's for sure.
No. Great update we saw from the doctors and DeMar Hamlin being able to take the breathing tube out. He FaceTimed his family. He FaceTimed the team, the Buffalo Bills. Told them, hey, guys, get back to focusing on football. I'm making steady progress. I'm going to be making the correct steps to go home. So it was good on a national level to see him. And to hear the positive updates and what was a scary situation on Monday night.
Yeah, and Christian Eriksen, World Cup qualifying play a couple years ago. It happened in a soccer game, so a very similar incident. But this was, I think, him just flying into the net, and something got caught as he went through and actually knocked the goal off the line. He went into that net so hard.
But
and we're back in play.
Jake Brown is up and walked to the sidelines on his own power.
He's a tough dude, too.
Yeah, he is.
And that ball goes through right to Caden Sickler. And Jake Wells had the opportunity, just couldn't quite get the foot on it to catch it. Had two defenders on either side of him. Xavier Jackson. Oh, hard ball back to Caden Sickler. Caden just says, get it out of my net.
Get that trash out of here.
Ball into Keegan Harrison. You don't want him to shoot. And goal kick. Yeah, Keegan Harrison, leading scorer for Holy Trinity. That's not the one you want with the ball at his feet if you're Caden Sickler. So errant back pass was the start of that, and almost turned into a really good opportunity there for Holy Trinity. But again, with no pressure to the 30-yard line, you should always have support in behind. Really shouldn't have need for that. Long ball in, but that's going to go right to Finn and Warder.
Well, you said, look, we had to be patient, and look, you're still, you're in, 7 minutes into the second half.
Yeah.
You've got to stay patient, and you got to stay disciplined with it, too. Like you said, those long passes don't help your cause.
Well, that's the Holy Trinity game. You want to play your game, not your opponent's game, right?
Right.
Max May with an opportunity here. Aiden Pavelski just got a foot to him to slow him down. Giancarlo Valdavia knocking the ball out of bounds. As a second defender, as Max gets by Aiden, Giancarlo does a great job to get back as a second defender and knock the ball out of bounds. So this is where you miss Jake Brown with this throw here deep in Hawks attacking territory. Max May with the ball in his hand. Gets the ball into the box. And the ball headed out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. Actually, looks like the referee is saying throw in. I thought it went out the byline, but referee looks like he says throw in. Well, maybe not.
May on the corner.
Near post. Max Walker making the run in. Great defensive play. I believe that was Aiden Pavelski staying in behind him so that near post run. Max gets a foot to it, puts it towards goal, and Aiden Pavelski shuttles it out of bounds. Max May over the ball again for another corner.
How many times have we seen that over the last couple of years? Max Mayer, Max Walker.
Oh, ball goes through. Gio just could not get a good first touch. Max May with the ball here on the near side. Running by Jake Wells. He's got Giancarlo Valdavia in the back.
Cleared away by McKenzie.
Great ball. Max pushes another one right through the goal face, and Sully Fife on the far post just can't get to it and then kicked out of bounds. I believe that was Jake Wells. And another corner kick here. Max May over the ball. The last three have been low to the near post for near post runners. Now the two near wall players are now moving to the near post. All the Hawks on the 18. Ball coming in.
Cleared away by Valdavia.
Giancarlo Valdavia clearing it out. Back to Max May's feet. Beats one. Second one gets a little nick on the ball. Cleared out.
McKenzie clears it.
Gio's got the ball.
Tigers.
Tries to push one in.
Viera.
Cleared out by
Combs.
Holy Trinity. Then Riggenbach gets head to it. Foul called. I guess Alex Bennett maybe with a little shirt pull there as he ran by Keegan Harrison. Didn't see much in that, but maybe there was something off the ball I missed as well.
Bovolsky on the free kick for the Tigers.
And Bovolsky's going to look to push this one long into the box, I think. He certainly got the left foot for it. Three Holy Trinity players look to make that far post run. Opportunity, couldn't quite get the head to it. I think that was Keegan Harrison. Just couldn't rise up to meet it. And Caden Sickler rolls it out to Jake Medina. A great play there. Alex Bennett, good tackle there from Nathan Combs. Nicholas Jensen over to Max May.
Plays it back to May. Jensen looking for options.
Then Riggenbach here on the near side. Runs by one. Over to Max May. Ball coming in now. Mikkel Jensen's got the ball in the far corner. Keeps it in.
Referee calls the ball out and throw in for the Tigers.
The referee says out of bounds here on the near side. As Giancarlo Valdivia does a good job to retreat and get his foot to the ball, but out of bounds before the cross comes in. Reef Lagala coming off, as well as Andrew Turner. Bikram as well. Didn't see the players entering. I know Hayden was one of them coming in at the center back spot.
Flicked on by Harrison.
Nathan Combs pushes the ball long. Reef Lagala, or Dick Wells is running. Then Riggenbach does a good job to catch up, and he's called offsides. He was tight, if not onside, when that ball was kicked. I think he was onside when that ball was kicked. That was really tight, though. It was a great run in. Offsides. If he was offsides, it was up here about the 45-yard line, not the 20-yard line, though. The run started way up here.
Medina on the ball for the Hawks.
So Jake Medina now looking for options for the first touch.
Listen, as a newer fan of this game, I tell people, that onside rule is kind of what makes soccer such a beautiful sport. Is you have to time it up just right. And
it certainly adds some nuance to the attack. The timing is key in the run and the pass.
Yes.
And Xavier Jackson here on the far side beats one. Back to Alex Bennett. Cross coming in. Right in the hands of the goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know, other than that near post flick from Max Walker that was blocked by Aiden Bovelski. I don't know that the Hawks have really had a shot towards goal yet. All the great opportunities have been just short of getting the shot.
Agreed.
Mikkel Jensen here on the near side. Options in the middle. Goes back to Vin Riggenbach. All the way back to Caden Sickler.
Hawks play it back to Sickler.
And the back line of Holy Trinity getting higher now. Alex Canlis now running down the right side. Good tackle there by Giancarlo Valdivia.
Plays it out. Be a throw in for the Hawks.
And substitution coming in. Good sign. We've got Jake Wells coming back into the game. Or excuse me, Jake Brown coming back into the game for the Hawks.
Back in for the Hawks.
I'm not sure who's leaving the pitch for the Hawks.
Riggenbach on the throw for the Hawks.
Good head over to Max May. He's on the byline. Gets the cross in. Headed off the near post by Hayden. Max Walker with the ball now in the middle.
Walker plays it out wide.
Finn Riggenbach does a good job to keep it in. And Max May just can't get it past Giancarlo Valdivia's shielding of the ball. Another good defensive play by Giancarlo. And Pavelski over the ball here for Holy Trinity. So with 23 minutes left to play in the game, we're still 0-0. Long ball in the midfield.
Flicked on by Uzier.
Jake Medina winning the ball now. Xavier Jackson running down the far side. Alex Bennett. Good tackle there by Hayden.
By Van Kramer. Throwing it for the Hawks.
Jake Wells coming in. Jake Brown. Too many Jakes on this field. Jake Brown coming in to take the long throw.
One of the darn Jakes. I better not say that I work with his mother. She'll let me hear it.
Again by Schultz.
Cleared out there by Keegan Harrison. Then Riggenbach trying to get to it. Shielding Jake Wells off and throw in for the Hawks. Alex Canlis gets the chest to the ball. Controls in the midfield. Retreating now all the way back to Jake Brown.
Plays it back to Brown. All the way back to Sickler. Hawks reset.
Over to Jake Medina.
Looking for the
Long ball in, headed out of bounds. We'll have a Hawks throw right at the midfield. Xavier Jackson with the throw. Gio Carnero giving battle in the midfield. No foul there. Mikkel Jensen coming in hard. Then Riggenbach gets his foot to it and then loses it out of bounds. We'll have a Holy Trinity throw. Giancarlo Valdivia taking it quickly.
Flicked on by Wells.
Keegan Harrison with the ball on the near side here. Able to turn over to Jake Wells. Chipped into the far post. Caden Sickler able to get first to the ball and quickly playing out. Great job by Caden Sickler to find Alex, but Alex can't get past the first defender there in the midfield. And then out of bounds it goes for a Hawks throw. A little back and forth there. That's the most back and forth action we've seen all night. Almost a foul throw there. Jake Medina with the ball over to Jake Brown. Then Riggenbach.
Brown plays it out to Riggenbach.
Then driving through the middle now.
Pavelski's there.
Aiden Pavelski with a shove on Gio Carnero. We'll have a free kick here for the Hawks. Jake Medina moving forward in from the center back position. Max Walker now driving through the middle, trying to find Alex Bennett. Aiden Pavelski wins it. Jake Wells doing battle here with Jake Brown. Good job from Jake Brown just to clear the ball out now and get it to Vin Riggenbach. Good passing down the near side here. Alex and Mikkel. Good ball in here. Max May. Can he get to it? Good tackle out of bounds there from Hayden. I don't know that he needed to make that tackle. That was actually a really dangerous play with the ball running out of bounds. Had he not gotten ball and gotten Max, that's a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Regardless, great defensive play. Brave defensive play there from Hayden. And we've got our water break.
Look, this game here at 0-0. So at some point, someone's got to take that chance. Someone's got to, be that little bit more aggressive to see if it pays off.
Yep.
All right, second water break. We're tied 0-0. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back here as a little jump around. You should have seen Matt Sheldon in here jumping like he was a teenager again.
There's a trampoline in here. So corner kick here on the near side. Max May coming over to take it. So we were talking about, you were talking about right before the game, somebody's got to take this opportunity. And, corner kicks, set pieces, that's a great place to take it. We've had a couple of near opportunities here for the Hawks. We'll see if we can get one here. Ball coming in, near post. Alex Bennett with the kick. Cleared away. It'll be another corner kick. That was going to go wide, but obviously as a defender, you're not trusting it at that point. You're gonna have to get a foot to it and try and deflect it away.
You trust yourself more in a set piece situation than you are in that particular.
Yeah, I mean, ball's coming in towards the goal. As a defender, you're pushing it away. No other option. So another corner kick here for the Hawks. Another opportunity. Ball comes in. And there was contact there. Jake Wells with his hand up on Hayden's back. And Hayden got his head to it first, but foul called and free kick here for Holy Trinity. And they weather that storm for that corner kick. And Aiden Pavelski looking to go long here as Gio's not going to let him do the short touch.
Do it. I dare you.
Go ahead.
Harrison.
Keegan Harrison with the first touch on the ball and out of bounds from Xavier Jackson. We'll have a Holy Trinity throw on the far side.
Fagala on the throw.
Fagala with the ball. Lots of white shirts down that side, throwing long in. I think he said never. Oh, no. I guess it did come in. So we'll have a Hawks throw on the far side.
Brown on the throw.
And surprisingly, Holy Trinity pushing forward, and Jake's going to go long over their heads here. Actually, an opportunity here for the Hawks. But another throw in. And you see how narrow the Hawks play. Every throw in, everybody's no more than about 15 yards off the sideline, trying to get numbers. The give him a red call is interesting on that. Give him a red for moving forward.
Yes.
One of the fans wanting a red card for Jake Brown on that. Max May controlling in the middle. He's got Max Walker running down the near side. Long ball in. Gets through. Max Walker's in. But covered up by a goalkeeper for Holy Trinity. And Holy Trinity controls again. Ball needed to check up just a little more. You don't get enough English on the turf.
Foul given, free kick for the Tigers.
I thought for sure once Nathan turned and faced the defender, he was not going to get that call. But
Van Kramer on the ball for the Tigers.
By golly, he got it.
Holy Trinity gets a foul, and long ball coming in here. You bet this one's going to head towards the box. He comes up a little short.
I don't think he got everything he wanted.
Flicked on.
Fagala.
Kicked on, headed on, in the box now, opportunity. Jake Brown, good job getting it cleared. Jake Medina up to Max May, and you got
May's on the ball.
Mickle running hard here on the near side, and
Volsky's there.
Aiden Pavelski just gets it cleared. Quick throw in here to Max May. Max runs through two,
Uzier, with the tackle.
gets the call. High boot up into Max's midsection there.
Be a free kick for the Hawks.
Free kick for the Hawks. Good opportunity here. This one is in the wheelhouse for Max to go direct. I think this is one you got to put hard on frame, and you're going to have to follow it up.
Max May on the ball for the Hawks.
So Max May over the ball. Three-man wall. Flicked in.
Van Kramer heads it away.
Headed out by Hayden Van Kramer.
And clears it. Throw in for the Hawks.
quick throw. Mikkel Jensen back to Mikkel Jensen.
Valdivia
Cleared out of bounds by Giancarlo Valdivia.
For the Hawks.
Max May, quick throw into Mikkel.
Jensen.
Mikkel gets to the byline. Driving back to Max May.
Back to May.
Back to the byline. Cross coming in.
Headed away by Van Kramer.
Headed away again by Hayden Van Kramer.
Gibson looking to play it forward to Harrison.
Then Riggenbach trying to get it to Max Walker.
Harrison gets home.
Blue shirts getting forward now. Great job by Xavier Jackson pushing the ball
Jackson
forward.
there.
Alex Canlis now driving with the ball down the far side. Can't get the ball in Geo and out of bounds it goes
Brilliant
for
the
Holy Trinity
Tigers.
throw.
Back in for the Tigers. Number 9, Vikram Sabapathy.
Vikram Sanapathy now coming in for Holy Trinity. Dylan Gibson coming off the pitch.
Van Kramer on the throw.
Long throw. Jake Medina getting first to it, out of bounds for another Holy Trinity throw.
For the Tigers. Van Kramer. Flicked on by
Ball goes
Sabapathy.
through, but Caden Sickler's going to get to that
Sickler's
one.
there.
Out to Jake Medina. Over to Jake Brown. Jake Brown driving, or excuse me, Jake Medina driving. And the long ball launched in. Jake Brown controls out to Vin Riggenbach.
Riggenbach.
Then trying to drive central. Right into 3 blue shirts. Back to Jake Brown. Back to Caden Sickler. Over to Jake Medina.
Medina looking
Jake
for
Medina
options.
tries to drive, gets forward, long ball coming through, but
As far as Van Kramer.
Hayden Van Kramer gets his chest to it. I think he called a handball there.
I think a handball was the call. Be a free kick for the Hawks.
It looked like he got the chest to it, but tough angle where I'm sitting. Another good opportunity here for the Hawks. From similar distance, Max May decided to do the chip
May on the ball
to the spot.
for the Hawks.
We'll see what he does here. Again,
Ball
chip
in.
over to the spot.
Headed away by Valdivia.
Valdivia the first to it. Missing the clearance. Opportunity. Great save from the goalkeeper.
Sacrifices his body for the save.
Jake Brown had a little flick in, and goalkeeper gets to it. Trip in the box, and the referee says, get up. Alex Bennett now driving. 2 to beat.
Bennett. having
Goal
time
kick.
to result in
Wow.
Tigers.
Great defense there from Holy Trinity, and as I said in the beginning of the broadcast, you know, they're very they're very organized there in the back, and you've seen every time the Hawks have tried to get through, there's 2 blue shirts in front of them. Get by one, you got to go get the other one, and then the first defender recovers. They're very disciplined.
Flicked on by Combs.
Look, against most other teams in the county, that's a Viera goal.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great job from the goalkeeper to get low and,
Yes.
and slide in.
Sabapathy wins it. And a
Foul
is given.
called.
Free kick for the Tigers.
And it looks like we'll have a yellow card as well.
Issues a yellow card.
Jake Medina off the pitch with the yellow.
Clock stopped.
And we'll have substitution
Yellow card
coming
issued
back
to
on.
Medina.
Looks like Sully Fife coming on for the Hawks to replace Jake Medina. So on a free kick situation, you don't want your center back coming off the pitch. Jake Medina,
Harrison on the
certainly
ball for the Tigers.
one of our better defensive players for the Hawks, and not on the field to defend the set piece. So 2-man wall. Keegan Harrison into the box. Great ball in.
By Van Kramer.
Head just wide of the post.
Right.
And it'll be a goal kick.
Goal kick for the Hawks.
That was probably the best opportunity we've seen from either team tonight.
Yes.
Just headed wide. It's a beautiful ball in from Keegan Harrison. And just couldn't get the head across the ball to get it in on goal. And Hawks take over. Vin Riggenbach goes back to Jake Brown.
Brown on the ball for the Hawks.
Jake Brown over to Jake Medina, who's back on the pitch, following the yellow card.
Back in for the Hawks, Medina.
Jake Brown going long, but only to Giancarlo Valdavia. Keegan Harrison playing the ball back. Loses the ball out to Jake Medina. Gets the ball to Max May. Great defensive play. Reef Lagala looked offsides on that one.
Good clear.
Keegan Harrison collecting the ball in the midfield. Long ball in. Reef Lagala with the ball. He's got options. Jake Wells can't control out to Jake Medina. Now Alex Bennett controlling in the midfield. Bad pass to Mikkel Jensen. Again, Valdavia clears the ball out. Probably didn't need to be made. Probably could have kept the ball had he just let it run out of bounds. Vin Riggenbach with the ball now. Across to Xavier Jackson. Alex Canlis controlling the ball on the far side. Cuts in. Still with the ball. Driving into the box.
Still driving.
Losing the ball out now. Vin Riggenbach pushes the ball into the box, but goalkeeper's going to take that one. And Mikkel Jensen, I don't know if he tripped, but fans looking like they wanted the foul called. I didn't see it.
I did.
Reef Lagala through ball to Jake Wells. Great job from Caden Sickler to come out with the feet and make the tackle. Brave goalkeeping from Caden Sickler.
Holmes gets it back. Finds McKenzie off the Hawks. Throw in for the
It'll be a
Tigers.
throw in for Holy Trinity.
Back in for the Tigers.
Dylan Gibson coming back onto the pitch.
8.5 left to play in the game.
So this is when you see energy levels from both sides come up. Everybody's tired, but which one of these teams is going to raise the energy level enough to break through? Everybody's tired down there. They've been running around all game, but somebody's going to have to make that play, like you said, and it's going to be that extra effort. Giancarlo tries to make that heavy touch to get by Mikkel Jensen, which Mikkel Jensen may be one of the fastest players on the pitch, so I don't recommend that one. Then Riggenbach now on the right side. He sees Max May, who probably is the fastest man on the pitch. Gets around Hayden. And Hayden has to push it out of bounds. We'll have a corner kick here for the Hawks. Another opportunity. 7 minutes left to play.
Corner for the Hawks.
And back to the one-man near wall here.
May on the corner for the Hawks.
Jake Brown, big head out there. That's the target he's looking for. Far post. Aiden Pavelski gets his head to it first. Nathan Combs driving with the ball on the far side. Gets a pass into Jake Wells. Great tackle from Gio. And then Max May, a little heavy, but keeps it out of bounds. It goes for a Holy Trinity throw. The energy is definitely picking up on this pitch.
This has been a fantastic game.
Both teams want this win.
Van Kramer on the throw.
Alex Bennett trying to turn. Out of bounds it goes. That would be a Hawks throw. Xavier Jackson trying to find Alex Bennett. Out of bounds it goes. And we'll have another Hawks throw. Not sure what the argument is about on the far side there.
Goes off the Hawks, be a throw in for the Tigers.
He's the assistant referee on the far side overruling the center. That was the argument. Jake Medina on a yellow card has to be careful with those arguments.
Holmes plays it forward. Gibson.
And that one will go out of bounds for a throw-in.
Be a throw in for the Hawks. Brown to take it.
I probably would have been apt to throw the quick short one. before they come in and attack and get set up high up the pitch. The Tigers. Max Walker over to Vin Riggenbach now driving down the near side here. He's got Max May. Doesn't see that heavy touch there from Vin. Keegan Harrison winning the ball.
Looking for Wells.
Ball goes into the box, and Caden Sickler's going to pick that one up. Keegan Harrison is on the ground for the Tigers. I think there was a little coming together there between the two, but now Max May giving a little stretch. Maybe it was just cramping.
And look, I always say in these colder weather games, I say colder weather because, you know, we're here in Florida.
It's Florida. It's cold.
But
I got a jacket on. It's cold.
But, you know, sometimes athletes and people in general think, oh, well, it's not blazing hot. I don't need to, you know, drink as much. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here, but, you know, sometimes it happens. You know, it's cooler throughout the day. You're not thinking about drinking as much water as you would normally.
It's his feet cramping up. It looks like not his shins.
Oh well.
No, same thing though. I mean, it's those muscles in your feet can do the same thing. Keegan's coming off the pitch, at least for a second. There's your leading scorer for Holy Trinity, stretching that calf out.
Back in for the Tigers,
someone run to the concession stand and grab a couple mustard packets. He'll be good.
There's some Gatorades on the table there, Keegan.
Yep.
So we'll have a drop ball here. Caden Sickler throws out to Jake Medina. We've got 5 minutes left to play. Over to Jake Brown.
Over to Brown.
Down the field, headed on by Giancarlo, but Max May with a little flick. The flick also from Aiden Pavelski with the hand. Max May looking to take this one quickly. He's got the far post runner. Alex Canlis just can't quite get to it. So took it quick on an opportunity. You know, had it scored, that would have been a brilliant play. But, you know, had it not scored, which it didn't, you know, you look at that and you have to question, okay, you know, could we set something else up? You know, I'll be the Monday morning quarterback on this one.
Well, but hey, and let me say this: it's going to take a play like that or something to get this one goal.
Absolutely, and a ball just a little bit better quality would have been a goal there. Not that was a poor ball at all. I mean, when I say a little bit better quality in soccer is inches on balls that are hit.
Yes,
you know, 30 yards. Little push in the back there on that one. Foul called. Be a free kick for the Hawks, and yellow card coming for Dylan Gibson.
Issues a yellow card. Number 2, Gibson.
I think he thought he was on the lacrosse field again. Give a little check to Medina there.
Hey, look. I'm okay with little checks here and there. As long as you're not caving someone's chest in, you're fine.
Long ball here. Everybody forward for the Hawks, but losing out to Nathan Combs.
Hawks on the throw. These are for Jackson. Van Kramer
headed away by Hayden Van Kramer. Another Hawks throw. 3 minutes left to play. You got Jake Brown up near the box for this long throw. Kind of like a set piece. Long ball coming in. Out of bounds. That'll be a corner kick.
Played out by the Tigers, being a corner kick for the Hawks.
So that was like a set piece. This is a set piece. Little corner kick here for the Hawks. Max May standing over the ball. Then Riggenbach entering the box. Lots of white shirts. All the blue shirts. Far post.
Headed.
Alex Bennett gets to it. Great job by Finn. Is it Finn Warber to rise up and grab that ball. Strong hands to keep it.
Foul given. Free kick for the Tigers.
Xavier Jackson climbing on the back of the Holy Trinity player. Foul called. You can bet this one's going into the box. Aiden Pavelski's big left foot going to take this one.
Pavelski on the ball for the Tigers.
Just under 2 minutes left in the game.
Just under 2 minutes in the contest.
Hawks holding the line at the 18. Got 6 Holy Trinity players lined up to enter the box.
Ball played in.
Ball in. Right into Caden Sickler's hands.
Sickler's there.
Alex Bennett.
Bennett.
Nathan Combs defending. Alex Medina's got the long ball coming in, but only Hayden Van Kramer's head.
Wells heads it forward.
Jake Medina again.
Jensen.
Mikkel Jensen with the ball now. Going back to Jake Brown.
Looking for options.
With just a couple minutes left to play, now opting for these long balls to get those opportunities. Foul called on Max Walker. And we'll have a Holy Trinity kick deep in their own zone. Giancarlo Valdivia getting the brunt of that one, and he's done a great job tonight defending down this left side. Aiden Pavelski with the ball at his feet. 30 seconds left to play.
Pavelski.
Long ball in. Jake Medina gets his head to it. Now wants to attack. Long ball in. Opportunity. Caden Sickler gets his hands to it. He's looking to go out quickly.
Remaining time will be kept on the field by the head referee.
And that's the game, folks. 0-0. A good, hard-fought defensive battle. Neither team can quite penetrate the defense of the other, and tie game.
Listen, it may be a 0-0 tie, but you know what? That was exciting.
It was a great game. You know, there's nothing wrong with a good defensive battle. It was actually kind of what I thought we were going to see tonight. It was a very low-scoring game.
You called it. We were talking before the broadcast, and you said it straight. That these are probably, these are the two best defenses in the county. You know what? I'll go ahead and say hands down, two best defenses in the county, and we got to watch an awesome game tonight.
Great defensive battle.
All right, so we head into next week. Next week, the Hawks welcome in MCC, I believe.
I think they are adding MCC to the schedule. I'm not sure when, but yes.
According to Max Preps, MCC is next week, but always subject to change. They got Rockledge coming up. They got the big game against Melbourne coming up.
Yep.
That's going to be a big district one. So we're going to see what this Hawks team does.
Yep. It's going to be an interesting rest of the season.
All right. So for Matt Shelton, I'm Caleb Brown. If the game's still on, head on over to Alan Slaughterzinski's broadcast. He's got Viera, Melbourne. Boys basketball should be heading towards the end of the game. Your final score, live from Ford Kelly Field, 0-0 in a tie. Matt Shelton, Caleb Brown.
Have a good night,
if you wouldn't mind, be so kind, be like Motel 6 and leave the light on for us.